wanted to make a video and warn people out of my experience. I've been given some documents by the state, um, where somebody already stole my identity and tried to, mess with my disability claim with Social Security. So I have to start over. And with the VA, all they do is drag their feet. I just found out, well, not just found out, but just remembered that one of my former providers that I asked to leave the team now works at Compensation and Pension. I forgot about that. He works at in the local regional CNP, regional as in the Michigan region section. I mean, we all fall under, I think, Wisconsin for VBA. But for I don't know if VBA uses the same VISN as VSA. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, so they keep messing with anything they can. They refuse to give records to me. Even my medical examination, they give me a runaround between the regular Veterans Administration and Veterans Benefit Administration. Our local CNP office. They say, oh yeah, go down and request your records from your exam from the contractor for your pension, and they don't have them. They said, oh no, that's a totally different agency. We can't give those to you. We don't even have them. But according to CNP, they have them. So then they're like, oh, just call the 827-1000 number in Buffalo. I have never been helped by them, never. It goes to the same call center as Vet Connect. It's the same people. They're just screwing me over. So the state is saying, well, if you file for disability, Social Security, they have to approve you. I mean, that's true to a certain point. But they can disagree and say, well, we think the state doctors are wrong. Sue us, and then you have to appeal. But some of the paperwork, I'm just trying to warn people what's happened to me. Don't take my path. Matter of fact, if you have an issue, stay away from the Saginaw VA. Stay away from Saginaw County. There is a lot of bad people here. And I'm not saying that this is the only place where there's bad people. But I'm saying there's something going on here. There could be going on in other counties, but here it seems to be concentrated. Multiple agencies targeting people and just screwing them over. And a lot of times these people know each other. You see them together outside work. You see somebody at one agency, then come to find out they're using the name of somebody that works there. They actually work at a different agency. I mean, all kinds of stuff is going on here. And people just assume I'm crazy. Like the little kid at Meyer, oh, I've seen that guy on YouTube. Yeah, he just sounds crazy. People think he's crazy. I really don't care what people think. I know I'm not crazy. And the term crazy is actually not even a legal term. As far as incapacitated, I know people are trying. That's why I'm making this video. I have to fill out forms and sign them where it says that the state has the authority to decide if I'm capable of handling my benefits. That's a guardianship or a third-party payeeship. That's the form they gave me, what it says. Matter of fact, not even the state, our local, whatever DHS is, it's Homeland Security. I don't know what's going on here, but that they have the right to determine whether I am capable of handling my monetary benefits when it comes to SDA, which I'm not even on SDA. What's either we're on SDA or we're on PATH, but we've been cleared for, I don't know what's going on. The paperwork conflicts. I don't know what's going on. If we're PATH the same time that we're SDA, then that means the state owes me another $260 a month. So, I don't know what's going on. But I'm just trying to warn people to just be careful, Um, like I always, tell people, you find a way to get that nest egg, even, you know, make sure you can provide for your family, including transportation, like you have a bus, maybe a couple of routes that cross by your house. If you have to sell your cart, so you have a nest egg, so even if you can only put away, 4 or 5 thousand, sometimes you'll find an attorney who will say, okay, I'll take 5,000 on retainer, with the caveat in our attorney-client agreement that the other 5,000 is paid within 6 months. Something like that. Um, or they could say, I don't know the rules regarding litigation and percentage, but maybe something like, I'll take 5,000 now in lieu of my retainer, and this will be the placeholder, the retainer, and whatever is left off of the normal 10,000 will be applied toward any contingency fee, something like that. Or yes, I will take 5,000 as a retainer, and contingency fee for this person's disability claim, instead of the 20%, it will be 23%. I don't know if the state has rules regarding this or not. I don't know. But I'm just saying, an attorney who thinks out of the box, a shark. They're like, okay, well, finances are a problem. Let's fix it and let's go kick some butt. An attorney that has a thirst for it. I've known a lot of attorneys in my academic career, and a lot of pre-law folks, and the ones that were successful were hungry for it. And they knew their stuff, not just how to debate, but also a little bit of shaming too. It doesn't hurt in the courtroom, showing how the other side is slightly incompetent, and rubbing their face, in the poo of bad facts, so to speak. But find somebody, that way you can protect your family, because the stuff that we have seen here, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know whether to sign something or just to walk away, I just want to protect my daughters, the only one I could truly protect is the one here. My other two daughters, one has disappeared, can't go and find her, and my oldest is seems to be in touch with some very bad people who have connections to Saginaw. Very bad people. It makes me very concerned that people would try to traffic my daughter, because these are bad people. Very bad people. But just be careful, don't take the route I have. Get, somebody's ear, or get that nest egg. The best thing always, which is why people, in 2020 when we were kicked out of Country Way, I had a lot of credit. People seems to be the identity theft person, the thief, was using my credit very selectively, very little. And, actually a bank teller told me, she said, you know what? She said, you should look at the dates of your charges, and seeing multiple charges at the same site. She kind of put me on that path, but then I didn't have access to the charges because something happened to my dashboard with that bank account. So I couldn't investigate. But that's one time she said, that's weird. She said, generally we don't get involved in this stuff, identity theft, and card cloning and all this kind of stuff. She's like, this is way over our head. She said, but it does seem weird. I see, in here, or, I looked over her shoulder, actually it was her manager, and she's like, we see multiple charges at the same place on the same day. And she's like, that's kind of weird. Well, I already know that at one time there was 3 people with my name here. One of them I remember from his rap sheet in California. I remember his face. One time at a Dollar Tree, he was right behind us. He thought he's funny. I recognized him. He thought he was funny. But I remember him from his rap sheet of the state of California. You know, I can't judge somebody if they're repentant or not, but looking at this, you know, not the best kind of guy. Again,